So, safe to say it's been a while since I've done a Black Clover video. Wagwan everyone, Sanju Che here and welcome back to the channel. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, welcome to the new and returning subscribers. Of course, as I said, it's been a while since I've done a Black Clover video, and since it's been a while, I thought it'd be fair to just mix it up a bit, especially since I've finally gotten into the Black Clover anime, to kind of just give you guys my impressions and just have a little discussion with you guys about said impressions for the Black Clover anime. Of course, be sure to subscribe on the way to 1,000, like the video if you do like it, and share it out to your friends. But without further ado, let's get right into it. So as I said, disclaimer, this is not necessarily a review, but it's just my impressions of the Black Clover anime. For those of you who have been subscribed for a little while now, you know I've done 2 Black Clover videos, but those were specifically geared towards the Black Clover manga. So yes, I'm not a complete newbie when it comes down to Black Clover, so yeah, I'm coming in with some knowledge at least. Now, getting into the Black Clover anime this late in the game, obviously I have seen and heard the criticisms regarding the anime, and of course even the Black Clover story in general. And the long and short of it is, I'll just say it like plain and simple. I do like the Black Clover anime, but it does, like everything in life, it's not perfect and it has its problems. So let's get into the negatives. So as I said, I've heard a lot of criticisms regarding the anime, regarding like animation and pacing and all that jazz and blues. But while I haven't seen anything too outrageously bad regarding animation, because as of this recording I'm at episode 16, but I will say the criticisms regarding the pacing are very much warranted. They're very much true. I can definitely say that. And yes, I have heard that it does pick up in terms of the pacing after a while, but honestly, this is my impressions as of episode 16, and trust me, the pacing issues are there. But funny enough, it's not a 100% problem. Like, it's 50-50. There are some positives to the pacing, but let's address the negatives first. So it's funny because if you've watched especially my first Black Clover video on the manga, I specifically said that the pacing of the story was like one of its main advantages, because it had a lot of cliches, and especially with the criticisms that it was stealing from Naruto, I thought the pacing really worked to its advantage to actually establish the subtle differences between it and its, I guess, competitors, like right off the bat. But coming into the Black Clover anime, and it's probably a case since I started with the manga, it's especially like pronounced for me. There's extra emphasis. It's like it's much more obvious to me. But yeah, the anime in comparison is very slow. Case in point, I'll give you an example. Episode 2 of the Black Clover anime, right? Like, don't get me wrong, there were certain things I was looking out for, especially at the end of episode 1. That was pretty good to me. But there are a lot of instances like episode 2, as I said, where the whole scene of Yuno getting inspired by Asta, or the same scene where Yuno was gonna get his pendant stolen by this one drunk guy and Asta came in, like the whole episode builds up to that. That entire scene in the manga was at most a page, if not like just 3 panels. And obviously they took that page out of those 3 panels and really expanded it into an entire episode. And for the most part, from episodes 1 to 16, I see like a lot of that. There's a lot of, I wouldn't say padding, but they kind of fill out with certain things from the manga. And it really and truly does kill the pacing. Case in point is that, for example, if I'm the kind of person where, and I think this, you can tell me if I'm wrong in the comments, but generally speaking, if you have a series, a manga, right, and it goes to X point in the story, and say X point is 30 chapters, when it comes down to the anime adaptation, like, if you don't have filler per se, I am not expecting it to, just for argument's sake, I'm not expecting it to take 100 episodes to cover 30 chapters, especially if you don't have filler involved. Like that's just horrible pacing. And I know it sounds like a major nitpick, but just for comparison's sake, One Piece. I love One Piece, and I haven't consistently been watching the anime for years now because the pacing got really bad, and anybody who watches One Piece can tell you that pacing can really affect the quality of a series. Like, there's not even any debate about that. One Piece is like the best example, and I know it's probably a case where probably anime studio and Oda himself probably weren't expecting to be that long, so it just became a case where the weekly format was just it just works against the quality of the anime. So there's that. So it's really no fault of their own in that sense. But yeah, pacing can really kill the quality of an anime. Because honestly, if you have something you're reading and you can read it in 2 minutes, like something you can read in 2 minutes and you stretch it out to a 30-minute episode. Like it just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, to me that's my major criticism of the Black Clover anime. The pacing is very slow. So for example, even the whole Saucy Village, right? We didn't get there to like episode what, 9, 8? Like that was like chapter 6, 7 of the manga. Like, come on, like and even with the whole first dungeon took like what, 14, 15 episodes. That's like chapter 11. So yeah, little stuff like that. I mean, some of my examples for me have been exaggerated, like, you know, the whole 100 episodes or 30 chapters, but you get the point of what I'm trying to say. It really is slow in comparison, and I know it might not seem that bad if you just started with the anime, but for me, who, you know, started with the manga, it's very evident. But at the same time, you gotta look at the big picture. As I said, the whole problem of the pacing with the Black Clover anime, for me, it's not it's not 100% a problem. It's like 50%. There's a positive to it. Now, no matter how you slice and dice it, when it comes on to like anime adaptations, when you're, you know, adapting a manga, we know like one of the ultimate things that the animation studio strives for is just to ensure that the anime does not catch up to the manga. So yeah, so in ensuring that, we have like one of three situations. We're either gonna have filler, we are either going to have pacing pacing issues, or we're gonna have the anime adaptation be seasonal. So yeah, pick your poison. It's literally one of those situations. We know Naruto, for example, has a ton load of filler, especially Bleach as well. One Piece itself, it has filler, not a lot, but it's mainly the issue of pacing. And you know, we have a bunch of seasonal anime these days, so it's like one of the three. Black Clover is no different. As I can see, it does fall into the category of pacing, the issue of pacing, in terms to ensure it doesn't catch up to the manga. And like when I looked into it, I realized that Black Clover took almost 3 years before the anime adaptation started. So yeah, so with all of that said, we know that Black Clover is a weekly anime. So even a series like Naruto and like One Piece that started like about 2 to 3 years after their manga started, even they eventually had to, you know, had pacing problems or filler. So the thing is with Black Clover, in terms of the positive side of the pacing problems, for me personally, is the fact that the pacing kind of has this subcategory. The anime falls into this subcategory of like good pacing, 50%, as I said. I think I could coin the term natural expansion. So even though the pacing is slow, especially compared to the manga, the material they insert to, you know, pad out the episode is not as bad as a situation like One Piece, where you have a lot of panning shots and archers just standing up, camera just kind of zooming in a little bit for a little while before they do anything. It's not that type of pacing issue. The type of pacing issue is more like natural expansion. So for example, the guys go from the headquarters to Saucy Village. It shows how they get from the headquarters to Saucy Village. So it's more so situations like that, and you know, they kind of expand on a lot of scenes. For example, as I said, like with episode 2, where in the manga it was just, you know, flashing back to the scene in the snow where the guy was trying to rob him and Asta came in, whereas in the anime they devote an entire episode to build up to those 3 panels from the manga. So it's situations like that that come into play with the Black Clover anime, and being objective and trying to achieve the whole objective of not catching up to the manga, I can still appreciate their efforts to naturally expand scenes from the manga without padding it with some senseless foolishness or filler. Well, I guess in a sense it technically is filler, but technically in terms of just expanding and building on certain scenes from the manga. So that's the positive for me. So it's not 100% bad. And I think with that said, the 2 sides of the piercing, I guess it depends on the perspective you're looking from. But all in all, I do like the Black Clover anime. I do love it. I'm watching it in dub. Lots of screaming. So there's that. But all in all, I do love it. And as I said, I've been told that the piercing does pick up, and I've actually confirmed that for myself by just checking the Black Clover wiki in terms of seeing what chapters X episode is based on, and I realized that the pacing does pick up. So I guess it was just for these first 15 to 20 episodes that Black Clover decided that, yo, we're doing this weekly, let's start putting things in place to just make sure it doesn't catch up to the manga. But all in all, based on what I'm saying, it is still pretty close to the manga at this point. So hence why I'm here, and we're gonna have the manga author apparently do some anime exclusive stuff. Well, at least some stuff that he didn't do in the manga regarding training in the time skip and all that jazz and blues. So yeah, but anyway, Sanjay Uchiha here, people. Let me know what you thought about my impressions for the Black Clover anime. As I said, I liked it. Main problem being the piercing, but it's not 100% bad because it does, objectively speaking, help to, improve the quality of the anime in the long run by naturally expanding scenes from the manga. I think that perfectly sums up my impressions for the Black Clover anime. So yeah, but anyway, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next manga update video, which I'm not sure what I'll do, probably by latest next week, but that's how it goes. Sanjay Uchiha, and I'll see you in the next one, guys.